I think it's absolutely essential for orchestras to play contemporary music. We have to be a living form. The music of Beethoven and Brahms is very important, but if it's only that, it will soon lose interest. It has to reflect our times.
Seiji Ozawa, is that right?
In the 1960s, orchestral music in America discovered a fresh new face.
Do you perform that thing you do by yourself?
You mean as a performance, is he alone in the
yes,
the
is it a one-man act, I mean, that you do? No.
Are you a conductor?
Yes.
By the time Ozawa became music director of the San Francisco Symphony in 1970, he was the perfect fit for a city at the forefront of cultural transformation. Everything cried now.
The whole city was just up in arms about it. It was wonderful. Golden Gate Park had a big floral display, and now Ozawa. He made a new vigor for the orchestra, he really did.
Ozawa not only ushered in a new decade, but a new era for the symphony, and the momentum for doing things differently continued in the late 70s with another young successor, Dutch conductor Edo de Waart.
Edo de Waart came to me one day and said he had met this terrific young composer who was teaching at the conservatory.
His name is John Adams. I said, okay. Very shortly thereafter, John came to see me, and he walked in, and we hit it off like, you know, this is exactly what I'm looking for.
Edo had heard a couple of his pieces. He thought he was enormously talented, was having a hard time financially, and what could we do for him? And I said, well, how good is he? And Edo said, I think the guy's really a genius. So I said, well, let's put him on the payroll.
John Adams was one of the first composers in residence with any major orchestra in the United States. His close collaboration with Edo de Waart would take the symphony in important new directions, including the premieres of Adams' Harmonium and Harmonie Lehre.
Having the San Francisco Symphony premiere a piece and having it be basically very well received, and then a couple of years later, a very beautiful recording made of it, definitely changed my status as a composer.
So I said, John, let's look at setting up a series. And then he came up with the name New and Unusual Music, which completely captured what we were doing.
They were interesting and challenging programs that mixed real cutting-edge avant-garde music with 20th century classics.
New and Unusual Music would continue under Herbert Blomstedt and Adams' successor, Pulitzer Prize-winning composer Charles Wuorinen. With the arrival of Michael Tilson Thomas in 1995, the symphony's reputation for adventurous programming would continue to grow.
When you get Michael Tilson Thomas, you get the whole package. It's not the predictable overture, concerto, symphony type of approach to music making.
The symphony's first American music director in 80 years, MTT would bring American music to the fore.
As William Billings, the great Yankee tunesmith composer of 1776 in that period, said, Mr. Handel's music's very lovely, but here in our country there's certain music which is really relevant to us. And I wanted to make that statement that we were coming back to a place where there would be a recognition of the centrality of American music as part of the way we, as a culture, accept the art.
In his first season, MTT presented an American festival featuring the works of Lou Harrison and John Adams, as well as a collaboration with the Grateful Dead.
Michael gave me a call and invited us to perform. The cool thing was we were playing with the youth orchestra, not the grown-up San Francisco Symphony, and they were so into it. We really got some synergy going in that. I remember it well.
It was a happening. It was a beautiful scene, really, because the audience is totally full of people that are in tie-dye, people, you know, hippies, hair, you know, hanging down all over the place, and then the usual concert audience.
Another adventuresome collaboration was recorded with the iconic heavy metal band, Metallica, under the direction of guest conductor Michael Kamen.
The San Francisco Symphony has a reputation for trying new things and branching out and being a little more accepting of passions outside of the symphony world.
Where you then lose yourself and you then come back and there's a quick kind of glance over the shoulder and, oh my God, you know, there they all are, and wait, they're all playing off of me?
Having that power behind us was unbelievable. We have never really felt that before, and we've never worked live with an orchestra like that.
Hey, they like it.
The overarching inspiration of the period, though, would always come from Michael Tilson Thomas, forever leading the orchestra and audiences on an expansive journey of musical discovery. American Mavericks drew upon lesser-known and innovative works of 20th century American composers.
The Mavericks Festival was Michael's vision of what's unique and what's off the charts and off the beaten path in American music.
The longest-serving music director since Pierre Monteux, MTT has shaped the San Francisco Symphony and its reputation to an extent no previous music director has.
The orchestra has been technically proficient for a long time, but it's that spark, it's that little X factor that is brought to every performance that has made the difference over the last few years.
He's a risk taker. Nothing is predictable, which can be scary, but quite exhilarating at the same time. Because you don't know what's going to happen. But that's part of music. It's like life. Where do you go next?